Hey, we're now on to the third component of any direct marketing program, which is accountability. Accountability. So let's see if I can advance the slides here. Okay, so that's the topic of the lecture, and then talk about what's due for the next class. So here's where we are. All right, so we've already heard from Lester. I'm not going to play him as much as fond of him as I am. Let me stop him. Okay. All right. So Lester uses the word accountability a lot in this little snippet of video. Um, and he's the one who really associated advertising with accountability. And when you do that, you're really talking about direct. Um, you're talking about advertising, the purpose of which is to make a sale. I'm not letting us, I can move here. There we go. We'll just do that. All right. So my theme for this topic, you can see it at the footing of every slide here. Be careful. Don't assume anything. Question everything. Because a number of you are likely to be VP marketing, chief marketing officer before too long um, in some interesting companies. And you're going to have a marketing budget that you are responsible for. It's probably one of the biggest line items in the company's annual plan. And you've got to get the most out of every dollar. You've got to spend it like it's, quote, your money, unquote. And most of what you're going to be spending it on is likely to be media, um, the purpose of which is to attract new customers. And that means you're going to be negotiating. There's going to be an ad agency involved, more than likely. Advertising agencies, their role is to create the advertising. And it's also usually to plan and buy the media in which the advertising will appear. And they have people who specialize in buying media, who know how to negotiate, who know the players on the media company side, and then so whenever you've got a media plan that's going to be executed, you approve the buy. You probably sign a piece of paper authorizing the agency to start making media buys, to start signing contracts with media companies. Um, my suggestion is that you don't just step back and let that happen. My suggestion is that you get involved and that you look at the proposals and that you maybe even ask and that you do ask actually to be included in the meetings with the media companies and that you challenge things and that you push and that you question the numbers and the costs for things. And that as much as possible, you try to make the media accountable. And media buying actually, almost all of it is based on impressions. Almost all of it is based on how many eyeballs or ears the particular media vehicle is reaching. Very rarely, well, pretty rarely is it um, bought on the basis of um, sales results. But direct is all about the sales results, and that's the part that you're going to be bringing to the table. And when it is based on sales results, it's based on the first transaction. It's based on, well, we ran this ad campaign and we had an offer, and how many people, bought from us. But you guys as direct marketers, know that the real important metric is, are we attracting high lifetime value customers? That's the real metric. And how do you know if you're attracting high LTV customers? Well, that's one of the topics of my database marketing course. What you do is you look for transactional behavior. You look for the demographic characteristics, the psychographic characteristics of your target customer, and you see whether the new people who are coming in match. If your highest value customers tend to, if their first purchase tends to be a certain amount or a certain item, that, and that would suggest that a new customer is going to match the LTV profile. So it's a question of forecasting. It's a question of predicting what a new customer's behavior is going to be based on, how they, their keystrokes. It could be based on, okay, it could be based on almost anything. But that's what you want. You want to bring in people with high LTV. All right, so the media want to sell impressions. You're going to try to push for transactions, for sales, but you're also going to have at the back of your mind that what you really want is high LTV customers that match your MVC profile. Okay. And in fact, that LTV information, media companies never get to know that. That's going to be your private confidential information that's in your database. But it's the right KPI. All right, so let's step back a minute and do some definitions. Before we can make something accountable, we need to be able to measure results. And this is a definition of the word measure. It's a verb. Measurement is a noun. Ascertain the size, amount, or degree. Okay. Okay. So there's somebody measuring somebody. And the first step to accountability is measurability. Meaning how many of what did I actually deliver? The second step is tying the measurability to dollars. And when you do that, it becomes accountable. Okay. Some of the acronyms that come out of this accountability, there are really three important ones. CPC means cost per click. This means, in fact, most Google search, most paid search, most bidding on AdWords with Google is based on clicks. So I go onto Google and I bid on certain search words that I think are likely to bring up my company. And what I'm bidding is I'm going to pay Google X amount of money every time someone clicks on my entry. Cost per click. Click. Okay. CPA is cost per action. This is sales. This is when I'm paying not just for a click, but for a sale. And PPO is pay per order. That's the traditional media version of CPA. PPO and CPA mean the same thing. It means I'm not paying the media company anything up front. I'm running an ad with them, and they've agreed that they will accept a percentage of anything I sell that can be attributed to their medium. So these are the key basic measurement concepts. Okay. Oops, okay, I went backwards. What else is new? Okay. So, again, media, as I said a few minutes ago, is normally the biggest investment in any marketing program. And Super Bowl is just about the most expensive media vehicle you can buy. If I asked you to Google how much does a Super Bowl ad cost, 30-second Super Bowl ad in 2022, I think you'd come up with $5 to $6 million for a 30-second ad on the Super Bowl. So that's a lot of money. Um, so that's the biggest part of your investment for sure. And it's all about, of course, getting new customers. And let's look at the basic media types now. We're going to focus on more on internet, but traditional media, that where it says ooh, that actually means out of home advertising, like billboards, subway advertising. It's anything, ads in taxi cabs and elevators. Any advertising that's outside of your home is out of home. Print is actual printed media, newspapers, magazines, and direct mail. Print and then broadcast started with radio in the 1920s and 30s, and then after World War II, TV was invented. And that all kind of toddled along until the internet was invented and became a thing, and then mobile phones, which send their messages via radio waves, came into being. And now everything in the media business is migrating towards online. Even the traditional media all have online versions. Okay, so that just kind of sets the stage for what you spend your money on. So now, the way media work is that they deliver impressions. An impression is defined as one person seeing one ad one time. It's eyeballs. And that's turned into cost and pricing via something called a CPM. So here's another three-letter acronym. CPM is cost per mille, M-I-L-L-E, which means thousand, I think in French. So the CPM of out-of-home advertising, how much does it cost for every 1,000 impressions, which would be 1,000 people, 2,000 eyeballs. How much does it cost for every 1,000 impressions to buy an ad, in the subways? What's the CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions of a subway ad? And it's probably going to be around $3 or $4 per 1,000 impressions or 2,000 eyeballs. Okay. And traditional media, that's how they sell. They sell based on here's how many eyeballs I'm going to deliver you. In fact, with print, what they do is they take the circulation of the magazine, and circulation is defined as subscribers plus newsstand sales. And they add how many subscribers, they see how many they sold on the newsstands or in the grocery stores. They add those two together, and then they multiply by pass along readership. I think it's 2.65. They believe that many extra people read each magazine. It sounds pretty ambitious to me, but that's what the industry uses. So subscribers plus newsstand sales times 2.65 equals the number of impressions that you'll get when you advertise in Elle magazine. So I'm going to stop here. Okay.